Hello and welcome. This is Japan, and this is a video that I do periodically. It just kind of depends on how everything's going, but this is kind of the perfect time to kind of, decide. I'm going to go based off of, who I think is going to dethrone every champion and when it's going to happen. And yeah, I think this is actually fairly one of those ones that I feel like we got a lot of narrative threads that possibly will pay off. So let's jump into it and we will decide. So, right off the bat, we have Tiffany Stratton as the WWE champion. I honestly do believe she gets cashed in on. I do believe I'm still like in the camp that Naomi's going to have a successful cash in, and because she's not looking at Io Sky at all, it feels like it's definitely going to be Tiffany. So, I'm definitely going Naomi here. I do feel like if Jade's like run as like maybe winning Queen of the Ring and stuff like that, if she shows a huge promise and stuff, I do think that Jade would be the one that takes it off at Naomi or Bianca Belair. I do feel like Bianca is like a very close like second here that like could very possibly be the next one, because Naomi cashing in on Bianca is better for the story than her cashing in on Tiffany. So I do wish if that was a way of putting that in there and having Bianca get a title reign in between that, I think the payoff for that cash in would be even better. So I could see that happening. But I'm gonna go with Naomi at the moment. Next up is Io Sky. I feel like there's really no other person. It's gonna be Rhea Ripley. I feel like that's just who is the closest person. I think it's probably going to be towards the Perf event next October, so I think it's going to be late. I don't think it's going to be SummerSlam. I think it's going to be much later than that, because I feel like I think the King and Queen of the Ring, I think not all of them are going to be successful. I think it's going to be possibly with the men's side of things, but not the women's. I don't really know. I guess it just really depends on who fully wins it. We don't know yet, so definitely could be something else there. But I think that is probably what's going to happen in these two ones, because I feel like Rhea's going to have the title going into Perf or at Perf having that event, but I think it's around that time. So October time, I think, is when Io finally loses it. I think she needs to get a little bit more feuds with other people, and I would be 100% with this. So I think it would be a fun feud. Next up, we got the U.S. title. I think this is the title that flips the fastest. I think her and Julia talk this Friday. I think maybe next Friday or possibly Evolution, but Julia 100% wins this. She's obviously just completely over, and this would be an absolute best thing for the division, and especially on SmackDown, because it's like if they wanted to run back some of the feuds of the women that are in the mid card, all of it's fresh with Julia, all of it's great, and she'll put on matches with everybody. So I think that's going to be the best case scenario, is to switch off. Maybe have Zelina Vega make it to Evolution, but I still believe that this is probably going to be the fastest. Like, I would not be surprised if it's not this SmackDown, but the SmackDown after. I do feel like it should possibly happen on a thing, maybe Saturday Night Main Event. But again, if you're going to do Saturday Night Main Event when you're so close to Evolution, they might as well just put it on Evolution. So I still feel like this is definitely the one that's in the most danger of flipping, and I really think it's going to be Julie. I don't think there's really anybody else that it could possibly be. This is the person that they need to go with. Next up is the IC title. Now, honestly, there's a lot of threads here. I could definitely see Lyra, you know, just getting the title back. I could definitely see somebody Roxanne Perez being in that case. I think she should be very heavily favored to be put in that position after King and Queen of the Ring. But I do think Becky holds this to Evolution and possibly loses it there. And I think it's going to be to Bailey. I think it's going to be a triple threat. I think it's going to be her, Bailey, and Lyra at Evolution. And I think that match is going to be absolutely fantastic. And I think Bailey wins here. There's not much that I think Becky Lynch can do with it unless they're going to let her hold it for a very long time. But I feel like it'd be better to have maybe Becky Lynch feud with Io Sky for the heavyweight title and elevate that. Why the IC title could have somebody with Bailey who gets a title run, and then kind of have that conflicted thing of Lyra wanting the title back and not, so they could even possibly have a storyline with them facing off against each other. But Asuka's definitely in the division now. You got obviously Roxanne, Stephanie Vercour, like all of those people are going to be circled around this title. This title if done right, could be the title of the rest of this year. So we'll see that when it comes up. Next up, we have the women's tag title thing. I think there's only really one obvious choice here. I was obviously when I did the last video, there was only one obvious choice, which was the Kabuki Warriors when Asuka came back. And I still think that's going to happen at some point, but I don't think it's right here. I do believe it's the Bellas. I think that's the whole point of them setting up this thing instead of just having Liv with Liv having that just regular one-on-one match. The tag team match will be way better, and I think that's how it's going to go. I wouldn't be surprised if also the team of Natalie and Natalia, why did I say Natalie? Natalia and Maxine Dupree, I think will also possibly be a case there, because obviously they're not going to have any other tag teams, so they have to do something. But I believe the title flips quite a bit the next couple months. I think the Bellas get it. Somebody snatches it back from the Bellas. Kabuki Warriors probably be in that area too. And I think there'll be a lot of cool stuff like that when that division hopefully has a little bit more of a revitalization. But yeah, that's who I'm thinking. Tell me who you guys think in the comments below. I think it's uh I feel like this is a pretty solid thing. Normally, I kind of come up to being like, I'm not 100% sure, but I feel like pretty confident on most of these. Obviously, a lot can change and stuff can happen in between that, so I might still technically be right, but something can happen in between that. But I think these are still pretty good choices. But if you guys like the daily wrestling content, this is a good home for that. I post daily wrestling stuff. I also post some WNBA stuff and stuff like that. So if you enjoy all that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.